In the middle of New York City, where the streets were always full of people and dreams, Ava Carter worked as a junior hairstylist. She had spent 5 years working at a fancy salon called Elite Styles Hair Studio. Ava was 27 years old and she had big dreams. She wasn't just a hairstylist, she was an artist. She loved turning hair into something beautiful. Ava's love for hairstyling started when she was a little girl. She used to watch her mom cut hair for their neighbors in their small apartment. Ava worked very hard to reach where she was. She went to beauty school while working 2 jobs. She gave up sleep and free time just to prove that she could be one of the best. But even after all her hard work, she felt stuck. At Elite Styles, only the best stylists got to work with rich and famous clients. Ava only got walk-in customers and regulars. The big jobs that could make a stylist famous were given to the senior staff. It felt like no one saw her talent. Then one day everything changed. It was a rainy afternoon and the salon was quiet. Ava was finishing a simple haircut when the bell above the door rang. She looked up and froze. Standing at the entrance, dressed in a black hoodie and jeans, was Keanu Reeves. The whole salon went silent. Even the most important clients didn't compare to this moment. Keanu Reeves wasn't just a famous actor. He was a legend. People loved him not just for his movies but because he was one of the nicest celebrities in the world. No one moved. Then the manager, Olivia, rushed forward with a big smile. "Mr. Reeves, welcome to Elite Styles. What can we do for you today?" Keanu smiled in a friendly way. "Hey, I just need a simple trim. Nothing fancy." Ava noticed Olivia's hesitation. The top stylists were busy, and Olivia was unsure if she should let a junior stylist cut Keanu's hair. Ava knew this was her only chance. If she didn't speak up now, she would lose it forever. Before she could change her mind, she stepped forward. "I can do it." Her voice was strong and respectful. Olivia hesitated but finally nodded. "All right, Ava. Mr. Reeves, if you'll follow her." Keanu smiled at Ava. "Thanks." And just like that, Ava was about to give Keanu Reeves a haircut. Keanu sat in the chair and Ava took a deep breath. She had cut thousands of people's hair before, but never someone like this. "So, what are we doing today?" she asked, running a comb through his dark shoulder-length hair. Keanu chuckled. "Nothing too crazy. Just a trim. Keep it simple." Ava nodded and started working. She expected him to be polite but distant like most celebrities. But Keanu was different. He asked her about her career, her dreams, and her challenges. And he actually listened. It felt like he saw her as a real person, not just a hairstylist. Feeling comfortable, Ava told him about her journey. How she had worked so hard, how she wanted to own her own salon one day, and how she often felt invisible at Elite Styles. Keanu nodded thoughtfully. "You know, I started in Hollywood with small roles. For years, people didn't take me seriously. But I kept showing up and proving myself. One day, someone gave me a chance and it changed everything." Ava paused, his words sinking in. "Do you ever feel like you're just waiting for that moment?" Keanu smiled. "The moment comes when you're ready. Sometimes the right people just need to see what you can do." Ava nodded. By the time she finished the haircut, she felt different. Like this wasn't just another appointment, but a lesson in never giving up. She brushed off the stray hairs and smiled. "That'll be $85. But Keanu shook his head. "I'm not paying for this haircut." Ava's heart sank. Had she done something wrong? Was he unhappy with the cut? Before she could panic, Keanu reached into his pocket, took out a small piece of paper and handed it to her. Then he smiled. "Thanks, Ava." And just like that, he walked out of the salon. Ava looked down at the note. It said, "To Ava, the future owner of a legendary salon. Keep going. You're closer than you think. Keanu Reeves." Ava felt a wave of emotions. She had just been encouraged by Keanu Reeves himself. But before she could process it, Olivia's sharp voice cut through her thoughts. "What just happened?" Ava turned to see Olivia looking shocked and angry. "You didn't charge him?" Olivia asked, her voice rising. Ava hesitated. "I tried, but he refused. He gave me this instead." She held up the note. Olivia didn't look impressed. She looked furious. "Do you know how much money that haircut could have made us? You just lost us a huge opportunity." Ava's stomach twisted. "It wasn't about money, Olivia. It was a moment." "I don't care," Olivia snapped. "This is a business, and you just cost us a fortune." Ava's heart sank. "But you're fired." For a moment, Ava couldn't believe it. Fired? Just for giving Keanu Reeves a free haircut? She had given everything to this salon. And just like that, she had lost it all. As Ava walked out of the salon, rain started to fall. She felt lost. She had no backup plan, no savings, no idea what to do next. She sat on a park bench, staring at Keanu's note. He believed in her. So why couldn't she believe in herself? Just then her phone buzzed. She didn't recognize the number, but something told her to answer. Hello? Is this Ava Carter? A woman's voice asked. Yes, Ava replied hesitantly. Who's this? This is Julia Carter, Keanu Reeves' assistant. He heard what happened. Ava's stomach flipped. He knows I got fired? Yes, Julia said. And he wants to meet with you tonight. Are you available? Ava's heart raced. Yes, of course. Great. We'll send a car at 6. At 6 p.m., a black luxury car pulled up to her tiny apartment. 15 minutes later, Ava arrived at a private restaurant. And there he was, Keanu Reeves, sitting at a quiet table, smiling. Ava sat down, still in shock. Why am I here? Keanu leaned forward. Because what happened to you was wrong. And I see something in you. Ava's eyes welled up. I don't feel like much of an artist right now. Keanu smiled. That's because you're looking at this the wrong way. You didn't lose something today, you were set free. Ava blinked. What do you mean? Keanu pulled out an envelope and slid it across the table. Take this. Ava opened it and gasped. It was a check for a huge amount. Keanu, I can't take this, she whispered, shaking her head. It's not a gift, he said. It's an investment. You want to own your own salon, right? Now's your chance. Ava felt her whole world shift. Yesterday she had lost everything. Now she had an opportunity to build something new, something better. Her hands trembled as she looked at Keanu. Why are you doing this for me? Keanu smiled. Because once upon a time, someone gave me a chance too. And in that moment, Ava realized this wasn't an ending. It was just the beginning. Ava Carter had always dreamed of owning her own salon. For years she had worked under Olivia, a boss who cared more about money than people. At Elite Styles, stylists were treated like machines, expected to follow strict rules, meet impossible quotas, and never challenge authority. But Ava wanted something different. She wanted a place where hairstylists could be artists, where customers felt special, and where passion, not just profit, was the focus. Then everything changed. Fired from Elite Styles after a heated argument with Olivia, Ava found herself at a crossroads. She was out of a job, struggling to pay rent, and questioning everything. But then came the unexpected lifeline, an investment from K. Reeves. With business checks spread across her kitchen counter, her heart pounded in disbelief. It felt surreal. Just yesterday she was at her lowest, and now she had a chance to build something truly her own. But it wasn't just a gift, it was a challenge. K. Reeves believed in her, and she couldn't afford to let him, or herself, down. The first step was finding the perfect location. Ava didn't want a massive, intimidating salon like Elite Styles. She wanted a cozy, welcoming space where people could relax and enjoy their transformation. After weeks of searching, she found the perfect spot, a small but elegant storefront in Brooklyn. It had big windows that let in warm sunlight, an open floor plan, and the potential to become something beautiful. Next, she needed the right team. Ava knew she couldn't do it alone. She reached out to old friends from beauty school, former coworkers who had grown frustrated with corporate salons, and even talented newcomers looking for an opportunity. One by one, they signed on, drawn by Ava's vision. Jasmine, one of her closest friends from Elite Styles, was the first to say yes. Finally, she said with a grin, a salon where we can actually be creative, not just follow a script. With the team coming together, Ava needed the perfect name, something that captured what this salon was about. After hours of brainstorming, she found it, Revive Hair Studio. Because this wasn't just a business. It was a fresh start, a revival for everyone involved. Starting a salon wasn't easy. There were endless forms, permits, suppliers to call, and unexpected expenses at every turn. Ava spent late nights painting walls, setting up stations, and designing a welcoming atmosphere. One evening, as she sat on the floor surrounded by paint cans and receipts, exhaustion hit her like a wave. What if she had made a mistake? What if this was too big for her to handle? She was running out of money faster than expected, and the stress was overwhelming. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from K. Reeves. How's it going, boss? Ava stared at the screen, then let out a breath she didn't realize she had been holding. She wasn't alone in this. People believed in her. She had to believe in herself too. So she got up, grabbed her paintbrush, and kept going. As word spread about Revive Hair Studio's upcoming opening, excitement grew. Social media buzzed with anticipation. Customers lined up to book appointments and local influencers took notice. Everything was falling into place. Then one afternoon, the bell above the door jingled. Ava looked up from her work and froze. Olivia stood in the doorway, arms crossed, a smirk on her face. "Ava," she said coolly, "I heard you're opening this place. Thought I'd see it for myself." Ava's stomach twisted, but she kept her expression calm. "Olivia, what do you want?" Olivia glanced around, her smirk growing. "You really think you can compete with elite styles?" Ava crossed her arms. "I don't need to compete. I just need to be better." Olivia chuckled. "We'll see how long that confidence lasts when the bills start piling up. Running a salon is a whole different game." Ava held her ground. "I guess we'll find out." With one last smirk, Olivia turned and walked out. But Ava didn't feel shaken. She felt fueled. She wasn't just opening a salon, she was proving that a better way was possible. Opening day arrived faster than Ava expected. She stood in front of the mirror, smoothing her dress, taking deep breaths. She had spent so long preparing for this moment, but nothing could prepare her for what she saw when she stepped outside. A line stretched down the block. Dozens, no hundreds, of people were waiting. Journalists, influencers, and hairstyling enthusiasts had gathered, talking excitedly. And at the front of the line, wearing sunglasses and a leather jacket, was Keanu Reeves. Ava's mouth dropped open. "Keanu? What?" He grinned. "Told you people needed to see what you can do." Ava turned to her team, feeling the weight of the moment. "All right, everyone. Let's show the world what we're made of." As the doors opened, cheers erupted, and Revive Hair Studio officially came to life. Revive was an instant hit. Customers raved about the atmosphere, the personalized experience, and the talented stylists. Appointments filled up months in advance. The salon was packed from morning until night. But success came with challenges. Ava was overwhelmed with managing schedules, handling finances, and keeping up with demand. She barely slept, barely ate, and her team was exhausted too. One afternoon, Jasmine pulled her aside. "Ava, we need to talk." Ava rubbed her temples. "What's wrong?" Jasmine sighed. "We're drowning. The salon is doing amazing, but we can't keep up. We need more help." Ava felt a pang of guilt. She had been so focused on keeping things running, she hadn't realized how hard it was on everyone else. Jasmine continued, "You can't do everything alone. You need to start delegating." Ava knew she was right. That night she texted Keanu Reeves. "Keanu, I don't know what to do. The salon is doing great, but I feel like I'm losing control." Minutes later, her phone rang. Keanu's voice was calm. "Ava, what's going on?" She told him everything. When she finished, he said, "You're trying to do everything yourself. Leaders don't do that, Ava. They build a team. Trust them." Ava sat in silence, letting his words sink in. Maybe it was time to let go of some control. The next morning, Ava called a team meeting. She assigned leadership roles, hired more staff, and set boundaries for herself. Slowly, things started to balance out. The salon ran smoother, the team was happier, and Ava found moments to breathe again. But then another challenge arrived, one she never expected. One evening, Ava received a legal notice. Olivia was suing her for stealing clients. Ava's hands shook as she read it. She knew Olivia was trying to intimidate her, to make her doubt herself. But Ava wasn't going down without a fight. She hired a lawyer and fought back. When the case reached court, the judge ruled in Ava's favor. Olivia had no claim. The victory was sweet, but it taught Ava a lesson. Success attracts enemies, but resilience turns obstacles into stepping stones. Months passed, and Revive Hair Studio continued to thrive. It became more than just a salon. It became a movement. A place where hairstylists felt valued, customers felt special, and the industry itself started to take notice. Ava stood outside one evening, watching the lights glow in the windows, listening to the laughter inside. This was what she had fought for. And she wasn't done yet. She smiled, pulled out her phone, and sent a text. "Hey Keanu, got a new idea. What if we expand?" The reply came seconds later. "Now you're thinking like a boss." She needed to trust her team, and she needed to take care of herself too. "Thanks, Keanu," she whispered. "I think I know what to do." The next morning, Ava called a meeting with her team. She stood in front of them, looking at the people who had believed in her when no one else did. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't afraid to tell the truth. "I've been working too hard," she said honestly. "And I've been making you work too hard too. That's not fair. I don't want this salon to be like Elite Styles. I want it to be better." She told them about her plan, hiring new stylists to help with the work, bringing in an assistant manager to handle schedules and money, and setting real work hours so no one, including herself, got too tired. Her team listened and nodded. For the first time in weeks, Ava felt relief. She wasn't doing this alone anymore. She had built something real, something strong, and she wasn't going to lose it. Over the next few weeks, Revive Hair Studio kept growing. But this time it was in a way that felt right. Ava finally felt in control. Not because she was doing everything, but because she had a team that cared as much as she did. One evening, as she locked the salon doors, she got a text from Keanu. "Proud of you, boss. You figured it out. Let's celebrate soon." Ava smiled. She had turned a hard time into a big win. And this was just the beginning. For the first time since opening Revive Hair Studio, Ava felt like she could breathe. The salon was doing great, clients were happy, and her team was strong. She had finally learned to trust them and not do everything alone. But peace doesn't last forever. Just as Ava was settling into success, something strange started happening. Little problems here and there. A missing delivery. An appointment booked twice by mistake. A product order that never arrived. At first, Ava thought it was just bad luck. Running a business always came with small problems. Then clients started complaining. "I booked my appointment weeks ago, but my name wasn't in the system. The hair products you used last time were great, but this time they felt different. Your receptionist was really rude on the phone. I almost canceled my appointment." Ava felt her stomach tighten. Something was wrong. Her salon was known for great service, but suddenly, everything was falling apart. Then came the worst part, a terrible online review. The review said Revive Hair Studio was unprofessional, too expensive, and dishonest. It even said Ava was only successful because of her connection to Keanu Reeves, not because she was actually talented. The words hurt, but that wasn't the scariest part. The review had details that only someone inside the salon would know. Someone on her team was trying to ruin her. And Ava was going to find out who. Ava knew she had to be careful. If she blamed the wrong person, her team might stop trusting her. So she pretended she didn't see the review. She just watched and listened closely. That's when she noticed a pattern. The missing product orders? They all went through one person. The rude phone calls? The same employee every time. The messed up schedules? One person had changed them. And it was someone Ava never expected, Vanessa, her assistant manager. Ava's heart sank. Vanessa was one of the first people she had hired. Someone she trusted. Someone who was supposed to help, not hurt her. Ava needed to be sure. She had to catch Vanessa in the act. The next day, Ava called a meeting. Everyone gathered, chatting and laughing. They had no idea what was coming. Ava took a deep breath and spoke in a calm voice. "I've noticed a lot of mistakes lately," she said. "Orders not showing up, double-booked appointments, bad reviews from people who know too much about our business. And I have reason to believe someone in this salon is behind it." The room went silent. Ava saw some people shift nervously. Others exchanged glances. Then she turned to Vanessa. "Vanessa," Ava said, "can you explain why all of these problems lead back to you?" Vanessa's eyes widened for a moment, then she forced a laugh. "Me? That's crazy. I would never do that." Ava pulled out her phone. She had spent hours going through the salon system, tracking everything. She had saved proof, emails, order logs, and schedules, all pointing to Vanessa. Ava put her phone on the table. Vanessa's face turned pale. I can explain," she stammered. "Go ahead," Ava said, folding her arms. Vanessa opened her mouth, but then shut it. She knew she was caught. Then her face changed from guilty to angry. "You don't deserve all this, Ava," she spat. "You think you're better than us just because Keanu Reeves helped you?" Ava clenched her jaw. "This was never about Keanu," she said firmly. "I worked hard for this just like everyone else. You were supposed to be my partner, Vanessa. Instead, you tried to destroy everything." Vanessa scoffed. "You think you'll keep this success forever? Without Keanu, you're nothing." Ava's fists clenched, but she didn't let herself get mad. Instead, she took a deep breath and stood her ground. "You know what makes real success?" Ava said, her voice calm but strong. Vanessa didn't answer. "It's what you do after someone gives you a chance," Ava continued. "Some people take that chance and work hard. Others just sit around waiting for success to come to them. And when it doesn't, they try to tear others down." Vanessa's face twisted in anger, but Ava had already made her choice. "You're fired," she said. "Leave now." Vanessa's hands shook, but she knew she had lost. She grabbed her things and stormed out. Just like that, the storm was over. After Vanessa left, Ava sat in her office and took a deep breath. She had just faced one of the hardest moments of her career. And she had won. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Keanu. Heard you handled a rough situation today. Proud of you. That's what leaders do. Ava smiled, because now she finally understood. She wasn't just a hairstylist. She wasn't just someone who got lucky. She was a businesswoman, a leader, and no amount of betrayal could take that away from her. This was just the beginning. She had turned her hardest moment into her biggest success. But even though she had done so well, she still didn't feel happy. Now that she had reached this point, she wondered, what's next? An unexpected offer. She didn't have to wait long to find out. One night, as she was closing her salon, her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She hesitated before answering. Hello, she said. A deep, strong voice spoke. Ava Carter? She frowned. Yes. Who is this? This is Victor Montague. I'm the CEO of Lux Hair Studios. Ava's eyes widened. Lux Hair Studios was one of the biggest and fanciest salon companies in the country. They had salons in Los Angeles, New York, Avami, and even London. Why was someone like him calling her? I've been watching your success, Victor said. Your salon is making a big impact in the industry, and I'm really impressed by what you've built. I want to talk to you about an opportunity. Ava leaned against the glass door, gripping her phone. What kind of opportunity? Victor's voice was smooth and convincing. We want to work with you. Lux Hair Studios is expanding into Brooklyn, and we think your salon, Revive, would be a great fit for our company. I'd love to meet and talk about what that would look like. Ava's heart pounded. A partnership with Lux Hair Studios could change everything, but it could also mean losing control of what she had built. Let's talk, she said, because she needed to know her options. The meeting that could change everything. The next day, Ava met Victor at a fancy restaurant in Manhattan. It was the kind of place where important business deals were made over fancy meals and glasses of wine. She wore her best blazer, determined to prove she belonged there. Victor Montague was just as she expected. Tall, well-dressed, and very confident, like someone who had been running a big company for a long time. After some small talk, he got straight to the point. What you've built with Revive is amazing, he said, sipping his espresso. And I believe it can be even bigger. Ava nodded, waiting. I want to offer you a deal, he continued. Lux Hair Studios will buy most of Revive. You'll still be the face of the brand and have full creative control, but we'll provide the money and resources to help you grow. Ava's breath caught. Grow? She repeated. Victor leaned forward. I'm talking about franchising, turning Revive into a national brand. We could open Revive salons all over the country. New York, LA, Avami, Chicago, anywhere. Ava's head spun. She had always dreamed of expanding her business, but never on such a huge level. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But there was a catch. With our support, you'll have everything you need to grow, Victor said. But we would own 60% of Revive. You'd be a partner, but not the sole owner. Ava's stomach twisted. She had worked so hard to build her own business. Would she be willing to give up control to make it even bigger? A call for guidance. That night, Ava sat in her apartment, staring at the contract Victor had given her. Her phone was beside her. Before she could overthink, she called someone she trusted. The phone rang twice before a warm voice answered. Ava. Keanu Reeves said. What's up? Ava laughed nervously. I need your advice. She explained everything, the meeting, the offer, the chance to turn Revive into a national brand. When she finished, there was a long pause. Then Keanu asked, What's your gut telling you, Ava? That I'm scared, she admitted. This could be huge, but it also feels like I'd be giving away a piece of myself. Keanu was quiet for a moment before saying, Then don't do it. Ava blinked. What? Keanu chuckled. Ava, you built Revive because you wanted something real, something that was truly yours. If you sell most of it now, it won't be yours anymore. Ava swallowed. But what if I never get this chance again? Keanu's voice was calm. You will. Because you're that good. And when the time is right, you'll expand. But on your terms, not someone else's. Ava closed her eyes. Deep down, she already knew the answer. She had worked too hard and sacrificed too much to just give her dream away. Thank you, Keanu, she said softly. Anytime, he replied. And Ava, just remember you're already a success. You don't need anyone else to prove that. Ava smiled. He was right. A decision that defined her future. The next morning, Ava walked into Victor Montague's office. He greeted her with a confident smile. So, are we making history together? He asked. Ava took a deep breath. Then, with complete certainty, she slid the contract back across the table, unsigned. "I appreciate the offer, Victor," she said, looking him in the eye. "But Revive is mine, and I'm not ready to give that up." Victor's expression changed slightly, surprised. "Are you sure? This is a rare opportunity." Ava nodded. "So is owning something that's truly yours." For a moment he studied her. Then, to her surprise, he grinned. "Smart woman," he said. "I respect that." Ava stood and shook his hand. "Thank you." As she walked out of his office, she felt lighter. Because for the first time, she wasn't just making a business decision, she was making a choice that honored who she was. And that was the most important decision of all. 1 year later. 1 year later, Revive Hair Studio had expanded, but on Ava's terms. She had opened a second location in Manhattan, using hard work and community support, not big investors. She remained the sole owner, keeping her dream alive. One evening, she received a text from Keanu. "Told you you'd make it, boss. Proud of you." Ava smiled, because she had made it. And the best part? She had done it her way. If you enjoyed this story, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exciting stories filled with adventure, mystery, and unforgettable moments. Your support means the world. It keeps these stories coming and the creativity flowing. Trace for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.